So I spend a lot of time commenting on political news stories and videos, and one of the more common comments I see from right wing people involves how they feel that their children are reading a lot of gay books, books about homosexuality and gay issues, and do they even think about like what the underlying reason for this might be? I believe that they view this as some sort of like conspiracy theory to turn their kids gay. But the thing is, if your kids are reading gay books, they're seeking those books out. Uh, I hate to be the one to break this to you, but your kids, there's a good chance they're gay. Do you understand that? Like, I'm straight. When I was a kid, I didn't read gay books. Like, I might have listened to a few gay musicians and things like that, but it was like a secondary characteristic of what I was into. Like, if there was a musician I really liked, who happened to be homosexual, it wasn't like I was like, oh, cool, I'm listening to this because it's a gay musician. No, it was just like, oh, cool. I like this musician. He's also gay. That's fine with me, but it wasn't like I was seeking that out. But in the case of your kids literally reading books that have like homosexuality as as like central to the plot point, like if your kids are seeking that out and reading it, your kids, there's a good chance they're gay. Which I understand that's probably difficult for you since you tend to be homophobic, and you don't know how to like emotionally deal with the fact that your children may be something that repulses you, that you find immoral. But if you love your kids, which I don't know if you do or not, I think you love the idea of your children, but maybe not your children themselves. You like the idea of being a person who has children, having a family, and you have an idealized vision for who your children are and will become as they grow older. But if you can't accept that your children are gay and you think it's like a big liberal plot against you, that's gonna negatively impact your relationship with your children. And if you care about something like that, the solution is not to go and screech at school board meetings because these books exist. The solution is to seek greater understanding of who your children are. I don't know if that idea is going to get through to you because you tend to be a stubborn and narrow-minded group of people. But it would be a real shame if you couldn't reconcile your supposed love for your children with the fact that maybe they'll be people who live lives that perhaps you don't view as ideal for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, I don't really hear liberal parents speaking too much about how it's a big problem if their children are reading gay books. I think if the average liberal or Democrat parent, or even most moderates, would find out their children are into gay books, they would view this as, okay, what's the reason behind this? Like, how can I help my children knowing that they're seeking out this type of literature? And I think that's probably the correct way to deal with these situations, not to make it into some kind of political issue that gay books exist and you think that they're coming after your children. Like, gay writers are just sitting there thinking of the best ways to trick your otherwise straight children into reading their literature. I mean, that's a weird idea, And I don't think that's how things are going down. I'll be honest, I don't understand your perspective on this sort of thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's weird to me. But you're going to do you. I just wish that more of you would maybe look within and think a little bit more deeply about these types of subjects, especially because the well-being of children is involved. You claim to care about that. I think you more care about your political views and posturing as these like traditionalist conservatives than you do anything, but I digress.